Well, hey, greetings everybody, and welcome to another episode of Tech Tip Tuesday. Here it is, the first Tuesday of September, September 6th, and I'm excited to get this party rolling for another season here. So welcome everybody. Thanks for joining in, and good to see some familiar faces here. And if you guys haven't been here before, if this is brand new to you, that's cool. But let me tell you what we do. So this is a place in which we can work on your tech questions, and this is a chat-based forum. So what you do is put your questions in the chat, and I am joined by Jake Barron, head of operations. Hi, Jake.
Hey, Ken. Good evening, everyone.
Greetings. And we have a customer service agent. Is it Henry in the background today?
Henry, and maybe Henry's wearing a blue shirt too. I don't know. So.
Maybe. Hey, Henry, you might want to put in the chat there what if you got a blue shirt, if you got the blue shirt memo. So we've got Jake and Henry in the on the call here that are also solving the mysteries from your technical issues. So what we're looking for are questions around, say, anything going on with the blue dot or the pink dot. Questions about the apps, questions about functionality. We don't get a lot into the back office, but sometimes there's a couple of things in there you wind up sneaking in. But we won't be talking about the comp plan. And what we can't do is talk about anything around disease, disorder, or diagnostics or anything like that. So we can't really answer the questions around what program does what for whom, but we can talk about how the programs operate. So hopefully that makes sense. So if we have any questions to get started with, let's get this party going. How about that?
Okay.
All right.
The first question I see is from Linda, and it says, I have a MagHealy and there is nothing said about discharging the initial charge, but in the Academy video, it says to discharge. How do I do that? So I know when you first get your MagHealy, it's new for all of us. It does say you want to charge it for an hour and a half, at least the first time. But as far as discharging the initial charge, really just charge it for an hour and a half the first time. And then if you run an atmosphere program, which is essentially, it doesn't stop, it's set to infinity duration. If you just run that while it's not on the charger, the battery will discharge, and depending on the intensity, 4 to 5 hours or so. So there's nothing really special you need to do in order to fully discharge it the first time you use it. Just the normal use will take care of that.
Yeah, the idea is to give a full charge cycle right out of the chute on pretty much any battery operate item is the same, but this is giving a full charge cycle. So in other words, the implications of what that command said, or that instruction says, is like you got it with some charge already on it, would be to go ahead and use it and go all the way to the end, but not, like Jake said, I also recommend too, that you go ahead, plug it in, fully charge it all the way up, and then use it fully all the way till the battery dies. And that's a full charge cycle.
Yep.
Yay.
Okay.
All right. And Henry's in the background. He says, he also says, invites you to put questions in the chat that he's going to be answering back there. So, so hopefully if we come to a question that's already been answered, well, we'll just do it again. But we'll just expand on things.
Yeah.
Oh, Marjorie says there's somebody who would like to work in tech support. So there's an application process. You guys use a hiring service, right?
We use both LinkedIn and there's in on Indeed as well. But just keep in mind the positions, any positions we do have open are for Orlando-based people. So
yeah. Right on. Yeah. So I mean, who wouldn't want to work for Healy, right? So it'd be fun. It'd be a great job.
You just have to wear a blue shirt. That's all that requires.
Gotta have the blue shirt, everybody.
Yeah.
Okay, so Nancy has a question, or actually wants a discussion around the effectiveness of using Healy pink dot without wristbands. So we do talk about this occasionally and how that whole thing works. because it's great to know. The wristbands or the sticky pads, either one of those, the purpose of that is to implement the microcurrent into the body. Microcurrent has a lot of studies, a lot of history for decades around the effectiveness on ATP production, protein synthesis, and amino acid transport within the cell structures. So what Healy's done is uniquely use that content or that modality or that method of delivery, and then oscillates that microcurrent within the frequencies that Healy administers into the body, so we can talk to certain systems, organs, and cells. So that's using it with the microcurrent. When you use it without the microcurrent, so Healy has built in essentially a noise generator or frequency system generator, and without any attachments to the Healy, it's going to be sending out frequencies anyway, kind of like a radio station that's somewhere in your hometown. And if you tune your radio into it, it'll pick up that information. Well, what Healy does is when it's sending that information out, it's sending it out in just a blanket electromagnetic energy, and it's low intensity, very low intensity, so it's not a lot of high amplitude. But your body is like an antenna, just like the antenna in your car. So the magnetic energy that the Healy is putting out is going to be infused into the antenna of you, and then decoded within your nervous system, within actually the cells, which contain water, the minerals in your body, which is the actual conductive system. So even without anything, and I'm not going to really talk about effectiveness of one versus the other, because when you are working with cells directly and working with the microcurrent, it's going to be, there's going to be implications as to how effective it is, and that's going to be your own measuring stick. The other way in which Healy obviously sends out the microcurrent is with the coil, and the coil then does take the microcurrent itself, converts it into a magnetic field, and then you can increase the intensity with your app up and down, and that actually does build a larger magnetic field, and actually two specific fields from the coil that oppose each other. It kind of builds this zero vector field around you. So the coil is another level, let's say higher. I don't know if I would say higher, but just another level in which is communicating with the body in the magnetic field to implement the frequencies into your body. So it can be used without the wristbands or without the sticky pads, and with the coil. I want to add something to that whole statement, is that your ability to accept Healy's influence is going to be a big part too. So no different than if I was to put you on a non-GMO organic diet, vegan, the most clearest and cleanest diet. But if you didn't believe or accept that anything you were eating was going to do anything for your body, then you would negate all of the biological influence that diet is going to have on you. This is the same thing with Healy. This is the same thing with any drug or procedure. It's called the placebo effect. And so there's a very distinct impression that you'll get from your thoughts. So I say be intentional. Be intentional whether you're using the Healy with or without the cables, and be open to the experience. So Jake, you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, I think this question, it's actually come up more and more recently, I say, especially as we had that training, the great training that Chad Fisher did on the Bioenergetic Defense program group on What's Up Wednesday a few weeks ago, because all the programs in that group are designed to be used without any cables, electrodes, anything like that. And and then the little picture before you start the program shows just the Healy with nothing attached to it, just clipped to the shirt, the pocket, belt, whatever. And if you read through the Healy app manual, it does say in there specifically for that program group that those programs unfold their effect directly in the information field. So in principle, the electrodes are required, but you can intensify the effect of that program group by wearing the electrodes. So, but yeah, as Ken mentioned, of course, there's the other effects as well that you have there. But I think it seems like it comes up the most related to that program group. It's like, hey, how can you run this one without electrodes, but none of the other ones? Or at least it doesn't, the other ones say, the pictures indicate that you need to have the electrodes on for the other ones. So.
Mm-hmm. When things are engineered, I'm an engineer, that's my background. And when things are engineered, they're made specifically, the program, the implementation, all of these modalities are built synergistically. And so the bioenergetic defense programs where you do not connect electrodes to the body and you just wear the Healy in your proximity, those programs are engineered to work based on that magnetic field. But still, all of the programs have that same capability. It's just the ones that are made to be connected with the electrodes or used with the coil, you'll see they're optimized. In other words, not even all of the programs will say optimized with use of the coil either. So, and you'll see that in the app itself. When you go to open a program, there'll be some that says that can be used with the coil. So the engineering of things are as such, but people are adapting and using these things in lots of different ways and finding results that are favorable and getting good results. So there you go, Nancy.
Okay. Let's see.
Question.
Was it when will the new pink and blue dot apps be available? So I saw Henry already put something in the chat here that there is a new Healy app referred to as the MagHealy app, which can operate both the MagHealy and the regular Healy. So that's available for download both on Apple and Google for everybody right now. So that is kind of the new platform. And of course, we're going to make little tweaks and changes to that over time. I know a question came up last week that people noticed in the MagHealy app, the new Healy pink dot app. Actually, we have to call it something else because it doesn't have a pink dot. It's got pink at the bottom, but it's not a dot. So I don't know. We're gonna have to figure something else out. But the question was, they noticed you couldn't turn off the Bluetooth chip via that app because in the current pink dot app, you can at the very top. There's a little section, little toggle back and forth for the Bluetooth. But that is planned for the new Healy app. It just hasn't been implemented yet because that app was optimized first for MagHealy, which is why it was launched to begin with, and now it's going to be sort of optimizing things over time for the regular Healy device as well. So, and then as far as when is a new Analyse Blue Dot app coming out, there's new releases all the time. There was another new one that just came out, 1.2, 1.1, fixed the blue screen issue that has been discussed on this call quite a bit. So happy to see that, but also, eventually all of our app platforms will sort of move over to this new version, which is a much more sort of a more stable, modern platform for us to build upon as we go here.
Yeah, and this is what I love about Healy, because this is a very innovative product and company. We're not on the cutting edge. We're on the bleeding edge of like technology. This is above and beyond the what used to be science fiction. And so it had to start somewhere, and some of the older platforms was what was available to build on, but was now the newer platforms for app development do so much more. And so that's what's being transitioned over right now. I love it.
Yeah.
Let's see. Steve says, I'm new to the back end, just trying to see the total number of units sold. Is there a number on the homepage under like 3 months rolling devices? So if you're looking at something like, if you're trying to look at what's sold in your back office in your business, for instance, if you are a member and you're looking at, say, the fast start part of the compensation plan, then that does have some tracking content. Mm-hmm. To show you, where you are in that process of the fast start process. If you're trying to look at total number of units sold, like globally or anything like that, that's not back there. But within your own business, there's a lot of stuff. I suggest people spend at least an hour a day, just clicking on something and discovering what's there. The new platform just opened. When did that just come back online? Just Wednesday?
No,
Last
wasn't it
week?
Friday? I think it was
Friday?
Friday last week. Yeah,
Gosh.
Thursday.
Yeah. So we were, there was a bunch of new stuff added, and you could see folks that have seen the back office prior to that. Now it's got some new buttons on the side. It's a little different look, but so much cool stuff. I got
and if you're looking specifically, if you're brand new or within the last couple of months, the fast start number is a good count, or the rolling device points is a good count too. But if you've been in Healy a year or two, there's not like a historical total devices sold over your entire Healy career report right now. But just keep in mind on the rolling device points that number includes not just devices, but upgrades as well. So if someone in your group upgraded, it would show as a point there too.
Yeah. Those reporting systems are, it still keeps growing.
Yeah.
We'll get a lot more reports available. Okay. See, you swayed us into talking about the back office. That's okay. Connie asks, can you please explain what the negative number means compared to the positive ones when reading an analysis? So we've talked about this, haven't we, Jake?
Oh yeah.
It comes up often.
Yeah.
Because when you do an analysis, you'll see the some negative numbers there. And when I say negative numbers, this is not something that's bad. It's just that in the realm of consciousness, I guess you might say, the positive side of consciousness is the conscious you, what you are aware of in your analytical mind. In the negative sense of your consciousness, this is the subconscious, or the things that are ancestral or genetic programming that comes along with you. So there's a lot of that. This is where Healy works. Healy works not just in what we can see, like with the senses. It works in what you can't see, behind the scenes, things that are in your genetic code. So that's where the negative stuff comes in. So if you're looking at, say, a negative percentage, or if you're looking at something that is within the negative aspect of the reporting, you probably had to add, when you did, say, a resonance scan, you had to add, include all negative relevancies, right? And then it would come up with things that are subconscious. Or even another way to look at subconscious, chronic is another way to look at it, something that's long-term. And so that's kind of where that's at. All right. I hear a dog. I'm going to mute you there, Zoomer. All right. What else?
There's a question about, is anyone else having an issue with the Pink Dot app in iPhone? I can open it, but can't run a program. The program loads and then goes back to the home screen. So yeah, this is one of the fixes in the new Healy, MagHealy app, Pink Dot app, where that issue is resolved. So you could go ahead and download that new app, search for MagHealy, download that app, and then connect to it with your Healy device. Or Henry put the suggestion into the chat here as well, that you can just turn off internet connectivity on your phone and then go to load the program, and you'll be able to get past that looping action there on the old version, or the current version, which is the soon to be old version of the Healy Pink Dot app.
A little workaround. What I always tell folks too, when you're having some issues, if it's chronic issues, I mean, it keeps happening over and over and over again, you may need to go ahead and delete that app.
Yeah.
Shut down your smart device. After you delete it, shut your smart device completely off, then turn your smart device back on and reload the app. So perhaps, and when you do that reloading process, you're actually going to load the most current version of whatever's on the in your app store. So
yep.
All right. Let's see. So here's an example. Marjorie says, I had dental pain. All right. Ran the pain program for teeth without electrodes. Got 50% relief An hour later, I used electrodes, and the pain was completely gone in 20 minutes. I love those stories. I love those stories because, again, this is Healy engaging with your body, right? And tooth pain, shoulder pain, joint pain, whatever the pain is, there's a neurological signal. The body's trying to first of all, but there's a neurological signal that's coming from the area of the body to the brain. So Healy goes in there and starts to work on the signaling, but not just the signaling. It also works on the causation, like what's going on in the body, align it. And it's all done, you could do it through the microcurrent, but you can also do it just by the Healy's transmitter. Remember, this is like a little radio transmitter as well, sending a signal out. All right. Let's see. There's a question. Very common after using Coil to run pink programs and forgot to take away the Coil and continue to run blue dot app. Okay, would like to know if it's okay to run the blue app with the Coil. Someone said to run the blue app with Coil will enhance the results. Is that true? We've had this question too. I love the question because you can just move right into using, say, the blue dot and have a Coil. Okay. So is it going to hurt it? It's not going to hurt it, first of all. Can you guys hear me okay, Jake?
It's a little bit sort of, I can hear you, it's just a little bit grainy sort of, but
okay.
It was better earlier on in the call.
Let's see if I can make some adjustments here.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Is that okay?
Yeah, it's better.
All right. Okay. So when it comes to the Coil, all right. Again, I'm going to go by design parameters. The blue dot was not designed to be used with the Coil. Will it negate or interfere? There's not really studies that show that that's happening. But when the blue dot is working with your information field, so the actual radio transmitter that's in the Healy, it's not necessarily, it's not that it's not happening, but it's not necessarily relying on the fact that Healy's transmitting frequencies right out of itself. It's working with the information field and the quantum sensor. So it will not hurt it to use it with the Coil. It won't, there's no studies, or I haven't done any research to see if it amplifies it or negates it. From an engineering perspective, anytime you put a Coil in front of a radio transmitter, it has to essentially conduct the energy and then retransmit the energy by the Coil itself. So depending on the efficiency of the components there, it could have some loss. It's not necessarily going to have an amplification. Okay.
Let's see.
Question.
So a question from Sheila says, what does pending keys mean in the blue dot app connecting cloud devices? So I think that's certainly not I think maybe if somebody tried to activate the master key device, and then the other one is pending the key in order to pull that information over. We did a training a couple months ago now on Healy for Beginners and Beyond on the master key device part of it, but it's actually no longer relevant because of the new master key process. Well, or the replacement for the master key process, where everything is just stored in the cloud. So there shouldn't really be a need anymore for you to activate with an existing master device, because you can just pull that information from the cloud. It uses the two-factor authentication where it gives you a 6-digit code. And so if you just got a new iPad and want to pull all of your data from the Analyse app onto that new device, you download it, log into it. As soon as you log in with your email and password, it's going to say, it's going to send you that 6-digit code. You check your email, type in that code within 10 minutes, and then it's going to pull all your data onto that new device. So don't want to go into too much detail on that because there's an actual question, because it's no longer really needed anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're getting that pending keys, there's a activate with master device is what it actually say. Activate with master device, and then there you would have to have a master device. But again, just log all out of that and go back and log in. It should prompt you to look at your email.
Yeah.
Now you may want to make sure that you have the current version of the app, because the older one won't, but you want to make sure you've done an update so that you do have the, was it 1.21.1?
Yeah.
So, all right. Okay. So question here says, my team member bought the Resonance Plus, run pink programs for more than 3 weeks already, but still cannot use HealAdvisor Search app, and found out that the serial number of her Healy device is missing in the Heal configuration page. Okay. Already submitted support ticket, and the issue, let's see, of this issue for 5 days, still no answer. You want a private message? You want to put that ticket number in here, or look at it from that perspective? So first of all, you know that the HealAdvisor Search app is this one right here I'm pointing to with the wavy line, right? So you go in there and log into this one, and that will show you the serial numbers of your devices you own. So if this member has had their device or their Healy for more than, a while, then they should show up in there. But that's a login process. Also, you log into this HealAdvisor Search app. It looks like this one right here with the wavy line I'm pointing to on my shoulder. That's where everything's going to be. So make sure that they're using. I get people say that, they're not finding the search in the blue dot or something like that. It's because it's not in there. Yeah, a different app for the other one, for the search. Hopefully that's where you're at.
Yeah, sometimes, make sure that the person's logging in with the correct account that had that device. I don't know if this person, like I said, they did purchase the Resonance Plus, but some people have maybe they earned a device on a different account, and over time people have all kinds of Healys, and just make sure that the device that the account that the order was placed under is the one you're logging in with on the HealAdvisor app. But if not, I know she's been waiting a few days on this, but I'm sure our tech support team will be able to take a look at this quickly. But if you can also just mention the ticket number here in the chat to either me or Henry, and might be able to take a look too.
Yeah, that'd be great. So LNS, to be clear, the MagHealy app replaces the pink dot. I thought the MagHealy didn't have an app. It does, and they are combining. I don't have the picture on my. I got to put a new picture behind me here, because there is another app that it's kind of a cool looking picture. Like Jake said earlier, we got to figure out what the name of it is. It just says Healy. So I need to put a picture up for that one.
Yeah, it's more of it's not the pink dot, it's like the pink waves.
You're right. There you go.
It's pink, the pink wave app.
Pink and purple wave, actually.
Yeah.
Awesome. There's also, I also want to remind everybody that, and some folks have, maybe some policies within their own belief structure around allowing apps access to certain stuff on their phone or their smart device. And you got to make sure that when you're running any of these apps and it's asking for permission, say to use your blue dot or your Bluetooth or location services or camera, you want to make sure and allow these permissions so that the app can do its job properly. I don't know how many people I've had that didn't allow location. And when they go to load, like, what was the last one? It was the Pink Dot app. It was all in German. Well, I mean, because the default is Germany, right? And so you go and load these apps and it's going to be in German unless you allow the app to find your location and assign language. That's part of the purpose. Okay. Thank you, Henry, for keeping up in there. Look at that. Lightning fingers. Right on.
Okay.
Okay.
Jim had a suggestion here with the new MagHealy app. Loves it, but being visually challenged, want to suggest that the font be made larger, especially the percent increase, decrease at the bottom. Said, is this possible? Sure. You know, we always take a look at the feedback that comes in and make adjustments as we go. So that's certainly one that we can suggest to the team there as maybe as part of a future update. So.
Yeah, it's awesome. And by the way, so some of you guys who have, say the iPhone 13 has been a culprit. iPhone 12, I think, was a culprit. Scanning the QR codes on the back of the Healy with that hardware, the Pink Dot app was not very successful. The new app though is, so it's kind of overcoming some of those challenges. I love it. I'm glad that that's happening. We're able to log in. Well, it's just using the convenient way of scanning the QR code. What I noticed, I did a little workaround, by the way. I took a picture of the QR code on the back of my Healy on one phone and then use the iPhone 13 by enlarging that QR code. I could take my iPhone 13 and scan that enlarged QR code and it would work. But again, with the new apps, all that's irrelevant. Let's see. Marjorie's saying that a client tried to install Healy app on tablet without success. Are tablets problematic? No. Now, remember, there are minimum operating system levels on these smart devices. You have to have a minimum operating system of, I believe it's 11 now on both platforms, both iOS and Android. And I'm going to tell you something, not all hardware is created equal. So in other words, some of the lesser expensive devices, they may say they have certain speeds, but the processor isn't the same as some of the higher end devices. So, but it should still work as long as you have the proper operating system. It should still work. Just how old is this tablet? I would ask that question. And does it have the proper operating system version?
Okay. Says, question from Connie says, is the individual Healy device updated automatically as updates are made centrally? So no, there's no, well, the device itself isn't updated. Typically, you're going to update the app. So the Analyse app, a new version 1.2, 1.1 just came out. If you have your app set to auto update, when an update is rolled out, you'll notice the next time you open it, the main screen will show like the history of the different releases, and it'll tell you 1.2, 1.1 and what is new in that release. As far as updates to say like the Healy Pink Dot app, that's one also where you might log into the app. If something's new, you might see a pop-up come up, say update is available, click OK, and it'll load maybe the new configuration onto that as well. You may have seen that if you switch from low current to high current as well. But in general, it really depends on the settings of your device, of your smart device, as far as how the updates are handled.
All right.
And on that, well, different, same note, but a little bit different, says, do we need to uninstall the current Pink app and MagHealy app before downloading the new combined app? So no, you can have them all on your phone as well, but you can also run a program with the old Healy Pink Dot app, and then also run a program with your MagHealy and the MagHealy app at the same time. I'm doing that right now. I have the wristbands connected. I'm running a program in the old Healy Pink Dot app, and I'm also connected with my MagHealy, and I'm running a program here, an atmosphere program in the new MagHealy app. So you don't have to uninstall the other ones to move forward with that.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right. Sheila says, thank you. You rock. Okay. Love the kudos. Awesome job, Henry.
Yep.
All right.
I think we're caught up here.
All right. You know, and I have not tried this, but you know, on your phone, on your smart device, if you say put it in zoom mode, you know, you could enlarge the print and the content on the phone itself, which does it globally across all platforms or all apps, by the way. So, which would also include helping maybe the smaller text or smaller icons with the Healy app as well.
Yeah.
All right. Question here about the MagHealy training tomorrow night. Yep, tomorrow's What's Up Wednesday will not be at its regular scheduled time, which is 10 a.m. Pacific and 1 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, and it's going to be Adriana will be hosting Dr. Michael Chen on the MagHealy training. So that's
and it's open to everybody, not just Healy World members. So customers can join, anyone, maybe someone's interested in possibly joining Healy and buying the MagHealy, wants to find out more about it as well. Everyone's welcome to join that call. Yeah,
it's good. We did they did one 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago on the day that we officially launched MagHealy for everybody here in the US, and this one tomorrow is going to be part one. We're going to go a little bit deeper into the science and everything behind the MagHealy and get a little bit. So this is going to be part one. We're doing part one tomorrow, hour long, and then 2 weeks from tomorrow on the 21st of September, we're going to do part two with Dr. Michael Chen as well.
Yeah, and it's the same link, by the way, everybody. It's the same call link as the What's Up Wednesday. It's just a different time. So there you go. Jake just put the .com in there for y'all. It's also on your shop page under the events, which is it's under the virtual event side. So all of the US calls are in there on your shop page. All right. Okay, so MP's got some confusion. I'm confused. Do we download and use the MagHealy app if we only have a resonance? Yes. Yes. The MagHealy app, and you know, it actually the app itself says Healy app. Okay, it's now it just says Healy app, the new name. So there's two Healy apps, and they have similar color schemes. So the pink dot, which we've been used to for years, right? Now we have another one. It's a Healy app that has the word Healy on it and some cool, colorful waves. So it will run both the MagHealy and the Healy. It runs them both. And when you scan the QR code on either device, it knows which one it is. It knows it's a Healy or a MagHealy, and then loads the appropriate programs for whatever your edition is that you purchased. It's the new platform. It's going to be, it's much handier.
Yeah. I think we missed one earlier on here, up a little higher from Linda. Said I'm still getting a revert blue screen occasionally when I'm running all night. So in the Analyse app, how to prevent this. So I would first check to make sure you're updated your Analyse app to the most current version 1.2, 1.1 before you try anything else. But as far as that, you could also try doing just deleting the app as well, or restarting your smartphone, reinstalling the app too as well, or turning off if it's been a while since you restarted your smart device, or turning off the Bluetooth on your device, turning it back on, to make sure that you've got a good connection there and kind of cleared out that Bluetooth memory as well. But
yeah, if you want to process to kind of, let's call it maybe reset everything, Linda, I'm just gonna walk things. If you could just write this down, maybe. So step one, to make sure, of course, you've logged out of, you can log out of your Blue Dot, and then do a hard reset on your Healy. Press and hold the start button until the green light comes on solid. Release the button. It'll stay on for a few seconds, then go off. Second step is to turn your Bluetooth off on your smart device. Okay, just turn it off. Last step, you can delete the app, and then shut your smart device off. Okay. Go back, turn your smart device back on. Then turn your Bluetooth on. Then reinstall the app. Lastly, then open the app and, lastly, turn your Healy back on, then open the app. And this will reestablish all the connections, both with the app and your smart device, as well as the app and the Healy. So now you've kind of started with a clean slate. So that process and those orders is important because of what you're actually doing to the hardware and the software. Okay. I don't know if we're caught. I just see a question here from Connie. The MagHealy is a separate device? ? Yes, it is a separate device. I think, do you have one there, Jake? You want to show her a picture?
I have MagHealy. I have it right here.
There's the MagHealy, and here's the Healy. You see what the Healy looks like? Well, everybody knows what the Healy looks like, right? But the MagHealy looks like that.
Yeah, this one, the MagHealy does not have any cables. It's completely wireless. The wireless charging pad as well. But this is designed, it has programs that influence the atmosphere, so you can be used within a 10-foot diameter. And then we also have programs where you can activate and inform drinking water. So there are water with quantum analyzed frequencies. There's making programs where you can deliver 2 frequencies at the same time as well. And then also some classic magnetic application programs as well, where some programs you use the devices just on the table next to you. Other devices, there's a specific location on the body where it says to lay the device as well. So there's a lot more information on our website as well on MagHealy, than also in our back office. But that's the new device that we just launched to everybody here in the US back on August 24th.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And the other question was, can we run the MagHealy and the Healy at the same time, or does it interfere? No, you can use them. There's lots of benefits to using them both at the same time, actually. So they sort of amplify the benefits of each other.
Yeah, Marcus was actually, there's some training, and he did a bit of a study to show some of the increase of effectiveness of Healy by using the MagHealy.
Mm-hmm.
So some good stuff. Okay. Let's see. I don't think we got to this one. Debbie has a question here under planet description in Pink Dot Guide. It says harmonizing the influences of the planet. Is that humans influencing the planet, or does it mean the planets are influencing us? How does that happen? So, so again, what Healy's purpose is in terms of programming these programs, it's looking at you, and where your misalignment is or needs are within the description of the program. So, you know, if there are influences from astrological or planetary conditions that are misaligning things around your biology. So this is the key. It's like our bodies are biological organisms based on the mind and the exterior or environmental influences. So both of those things are important, the exterior or environmental influences and the mind and the way that it's actually imprinting or assigning meaning to the genetic expressions of us. So if it's misaligned, it doesn't matter what the reason is, it needs some alignment. And so the program's job is to align you based on what the program's name is. Planet is going to be things that your biology is having struggles with based on planetary information or influences. It's not changing the planet, it's changing you and your existence within it. Okay. Because you then consciously and biologically influence the planet. So, I mean, it's better to align us, right? The buck stops here. Okay.
Let's see here, we're caught up again.
Awesome. Okay. Well, I love being caught up. So Jake, you get emails and messages all the time. People may be having some struggles out there. Anything common these days is some of the things that you're getting emails about that we want to maybe talk about?
You know, we we cover a lot of them, you know, on this call. Certainly a lot of questions these days about MagHealy. It's a brand new device for everybody, so everyone's still kind of figuring out how best to use that. But MagHealy is certainly, I'd say, our easiest device to use. You know, you download the app, connect to it, and super reliable and very powerful. There's so many ways you can use it. So we're still kind of trying to figure out the best combination of stuff, because, you know, we have the MagHealy now. You might run that an atmosphere program throughout the day and the making program at a specific time possibly, and then you're fitting in your standard microcurrent programs as well. Then you might be vibrating some programs in the Analyse app, and then maybe using some coils while you're on the go, and you know, going about your day. So it's kind of like just trying to figure out when best to use each of the devices and kind of getting a good rhythm for yourself and what works best for you, because it's different for everybody as far as how often and how many programs to run. And some people might run certain programs several times a week. Some people run a certain program once a week, and there's just so many options now. But you know, you don't need to. Really, for us, it's about keeping things simple. You know, you don't need to make things too complicated. So just kind of play around with what's getting good results for you, and then you can add things over time, change things up, create a new schedule in the HealAdvisor app, put in the IMF schedule as well, and that can kind of help give you reminders as well as far as what to run. But we've got I mean, it's really a very exciting time here at Healy. You know, we've grown a lot, and what we have coming in the future, what's just been released is, you know, it's really amazing what we have here and what's going to be coming in the future as well. So
yeah, I love it. It's the implications of what this frequency alignment systems can do. What the implications are endless. I mean, I don't know if you guys are looking at any of the arenas in which these apps and programs, or the programs themselves, are being built for. So look at just the learning page, right? We have the learning page, which is the things about concentration, focus, improving learning, right? If you take a look online about the industry of learning, what app-based learning systems out there, it's a multi-billion-dollar business, and Healy has assigned programs to that. Look at cosmetics, so in the skin and care line. Look at the arena around fitness. My favorite page is the fitness page. I mean, just the health and fitness industry alone is over $700 billion industry, right? And expected to grow another 170 plus billion this year. So think about that. And we have programs to help biologically shift the body, right? Through these microcurrents and these frequencies. So there's not an arena out there that the Healy is not penetrating. And so there's nowhere that we can't help people. I think that's important to understand what we have here in this beautiful little tool. Let's see. Any other new questions? I don't know.
No, unless I'm missing something here. Okay.
We're gonna get off early tonight. I don't know. I mean, well, Debbie's got one under the pink dot guide under beauty. The description for aging says harmonization of the bioenergetic field to relax your expressions. What does relax your expressions mean? Well, let's just say, let's just look at different kind of people. Maybe if you know anybody out there, I know it's nobody on this call right here tonight, but anybody that's maybe grumpy a lot. What does the expression on their face look like most of the time? And then if you tell them to relax their face, you know, and they say, I am, it's like, what's still showing or being displayed on the face? So the continued chronic influence that we place on the body, doesn't matter if it's attitude or if it's behavior, it's going to have effects on the biology. And so the expression, the face, is going to be a symbol of that. And so we'll have lines and wrinkles and creases and tendencies when we have a feeling for them to show up on the face. And so these skin programs or any of the programs influencing our skin is looking at a couple things. You know, some of the reasons that these things are engraved into our face is because of psychological profiles, right? Maybe just a grumpy person, or the other way, happy, smiling a lot. Have you ever know anybody that smiles a lot? You're going to see certain folds and conditions of their face. It's no different than doing push-ups, and you get certain muscle structures that are more efficient at doing that work. Your face is the same one. You're just doing smile push-ups, right? or frowny push-ups. I don't know, whatever you want to call them. But the point is the face will give that expression, and these programs help to relax that muscle structure, but also improve certain protein synthesis within the skin. So collagen, and elastin, some of the things that are in the skin to help just biological, I should say, energetically influence. It's just brilliant, I think. All right. And this is the harmonization terminology. Remember, we have to speak within compliance. So harmonization is a pretty compliant word for, what's happening in the body. And we can go a lot deeper into that, but this harmonization is a very good catch-all, because if you were to harmonize something about you, that's what it is if you listen to sound that's not in harmony, it's a little offensive, right? If you listen to sound that is in harmony, it's beautiful, it's peaceful, and we tend to like it. So that's our body. Harmonizing our body means that you're going to have relaxed states, means you're going to have healthier states, means you're going to liberate energy from fight or flight, or the stress response, or the fight of things, period. You're going to liberate energy from that and move it over into the rest and digest, or the healing side of life. This is a really important thing to remember, that our body's in one of two states to some degree, fight or flight, or freeze, same, or rest and digest. So sympathetic or parasympathetic. Those two states, in one state, you're healing. In other words, the parasympathetic, your body's healing. There's energy mobilized for repair, for fighting off disease and disorder, for interfacing and holding off bacteria and natural things that we're exposed to every day. That's the parasympathetic system. And that's when we're in a relaxed or harmonized state. But the sympathetic nervous system is in the fight or flight. All resources are mobilized and pulled inward to protect the vital organs, to also shut down essential systems that are not necessary during that fight or flight mechanism. And those, I've told you before, you'll hear me say it again right now, those essential systems that get shut off, or in other words, put offline, when you go into the stress response, AKA fight or flight, AKA sympathetic nervous system. When you move into that, doesn't matter how much, a lot or a little bit, when you move into it, the three essential systems that go offline, number one, digestion. Digestion energy shuts down or negates. It's not time to digest food when you're running from T-Rex or the saber-toothed tiger, or getting cut off in traffic, or a bad email or bad news. Body just responds the same. Number two system, essential system that's shut down when you're in stress response, is immune system. Your immune system is down-regulated. So you don't have to worry about fighting off a virus when you're going to be eating for dinner, right? That survival mechanism. All right. So the number three essential system that gets down-regulated or loses its energy or gets shut down is our reproductive system, including libido, people. You're just not interested in creating life when you're running for your life. I mean, that makes sense, right? It's just one of those times that those systems are put aside. So I tell everybody, this is what I say to myself every single day. Am I healing or am I not? Am I healing or am I not? And when I'm healing, it doesn't matter how old I am. My body is flourishing. It's harmonized. My body is vital. My body is building. It's creating systems that are fighting off the things that we're worried about, right? In terms of disease or in terms of infection, any of that. If you build your body and keep it in a parasympathetic nervous system, in that rest and digest, if you just did that all the time, you'll never get sick. You'll heal so much faster when you do get a boo-boo or, a bruise, a cut, a scrape, whatever. You will be stronger. I promise you, you'll be stronger. Your body wants to build. And you will feel happier. Simple stuff. And I get it. No matter if you may be justified in being angry. You may be justified in feeling, you want to tell somebody off. But just know, every time you decide to do that, irregardless if you're justified or not, your body goes into that fight or flight, has to protect itself, and you're not mobilizing energy for healing. All right.
I think that's a good closing point there, Ken.
Yeah. Well, we have one last question here. For those of you having trouble with your devices, please put in a ticket in the back office. She says, support is really here to help and turn things around and faster. So, yeah, do your due diligence first. You have an issue. There's a great FAQ system right there within the ticketing system. You can get some questions answered. Just kind of read through that. And then, we've got so many recordings and stuff on the YouTube page that Jake's created. So you can go back there and take a look at those resources, but do some due diligence, see if you can solve it, and then for sure get customer service involved. Okay. Thanks, Henry, for the background and all of our help. Jake, of course, buddy, I really love partnering with you and doing these calls. And
sure,
everybody,
always a good time.
Always a good time. Everybody who's been on here tonight, thank you for being here. Please tell a friend. If there's anybody out there having struggles, let them know this is available and the resources are here. Jake will put this on the YouTube page, and it's all hyperlinked, so the content is easy to search through and look at just what you're looking for, or get just what you're looking for. So don't forget, What's Up Wednesday tomorrow, the new time, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. And then, Jake, you want to tell them about this Thursday? Is there a...
No Healy for Beginners and Beyond this Thursday. I'm going to actually be on a plane to Toronto on Thursday for our big grand opening event this coming Saturday. So very, very excited for that.
That's right. Go Canada. Woohoo. All right. All right, you guys. Thanks for being here. Much love. We'll see you next week. Bye for now.
All right. Thanks, everyone.